Okay, so today is 14th July 2023 and it's my 75 hard day 45 of my second attempt. So today I'm rereading Rich Dad Poor Dad uh, in my these 45 days, and before that, in my first attempt, which I did for 23 days, I had completed Rich Dad Poor Dad, Atomic Habits, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Atomic Habits, A Psychology of Money, um, Eat That Frog, and War of Art. I completed yesterday. So now I'm about to reread this, and I'm about to make any notes and any small highlights if I find anything interesting, because I forgot most of it. So there's that. So let's start reading. So let's first let me tell what I remember from the book. The main concept that I remember is the about the concept of assets and liabilities. Understand what are your assets and what are your liabilities. An asset is something that builds you money, and liability is something that costs you money regularly. And over your career, try to gain more assets and lose your liabilities. That's the formula. And there are lots of tidbits of information. Like one part that I had underlined was that don't let life push you around. Life will push you around to give you lessons that you learn. If you let life push you around, then you won't learn the lessons. You have to learn those lessons, and then you have to. Uh, there was something along those lines. So, anyways, let me start. In the first page, we read the author Robert. Robert says that if he had only one dad, then he would have simply accepted whatever advice he gave. But since he had two dads, rich dad and a poor dad, so it gave him the opportunity to think and judge himself which would be right. In his words, having two dads offered me the choice of contrasting points of view, one of a rich man and one of a poor man. So I think in life we should not simply accept facts. We should think critically, not all the time, but most of the time we should think critically, and we should judge ourselves. Is it really something that we want to do, or is it really something that we don't want to do? What will be the consequences? That we should think. So, and I think in life there are a lot of things that we simply do, but if we start thinking, then there are a lot of things we won't do and a lot of things we will start doing. So there's that. Here, here Robert said that one dad had a habit of saying that I can't afford it, and another dad, his rich dad, forbade the use of those words. His rich dad said that instead of saying I can't afford it, you should ask how can I afford it? Because when you say I can't afford it, your brain stops working. Your brain doesn't think. Your brain just stops. Yeah, I can't afford it, so let it be what it is. And when you ask, then how can I afford it? Your brain starts thinking. Then what can I do? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But at least you start thinking that what are the ways, even if it's possible. So that's that. Instead of asking how can I, instead of asking saying I can't afford it, say how can I afford it. this advice can be applied to many different parts of your life as well. Like instead of saying I can't do it, say ask that how can I do it. Instead of saying that it isn't possible, saying how can I make it possible, like that. This thing. So that's this lines good can be applied in many places also. So I'm on page 3. I think there will be a lot more advices as I read through. I'm going through all of those. I'm also marking them in the book. I don't think you can see them. I'm also marking them, and as I'm reading, so later I can read those highlighted parts. So there's that. So here it's a line. Poor Dad says that I'll never be rich, and the prophecy became reality. That means he says he'll never be rich, and he never was rich. And the rich dad, when he was even flat broke, then also he said, I am a rich man, and rich people don't do this. So, and there also a good line that there is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. What Robert is saying that being poor is a mindset and being broke is a state. So if you are poor, if you have a mindset of a poor person, then you'll make decisions that a poor person makes. When poor dad says I'll never be rich, he accepts that he'll never be rich. And if you accept something, how can you change itself? If you accept that yes, I will never be rich, how can you change it? If maybe let's say you are overweight, you want to lose weight, you have to accept that yes, I am overweight. But if you accept that I'll never be fit, then how can you become fit? You can never be fit if you say that I'll never be fit. One thing which is closely related to this thing that I read in Atomic Habits is that building your identity, believing in your identity. Don't change your actions. You have to change your actions, but the most effectful thing that would have is that changing your identity. Let's say you want to quit smoking. If you say that I am quitting smoking, then what you are telling your mind is that you are a smoker and you are trying to quit smoking, which may help, but in most cases wouldn't, because you have to constantly struggle against your identity. You are a smoker and you are trying to not smoke, so you have to fight against your identity. But if you start believing that I am not a smoker, let's say someone offers you a cigarette and you say that okay, I'm quitting smoking, so I won't do. And in another case you say that I am not a smoker. Which one do you think your brain will have your brain will accept more easily? Your brain will affirm yourself that okay, you don't have to smoke. When you say I am not a smoker, in many similar ways, let's say you waste a lot of time every day and you think you are trying to change yourself. You eat a lot of fast food. If you start thinking that I am a healthy person, then when something comes, you would ask yourself, would a healthy person eat that? Would a healthy person eat this? Would a healthy person go to a run? Then you can choose your actions very easily. So that thing about identity, which is also in the Atomic Habits, as I said, it applies here too. That if you say yourself that I'll never be rich, then you'll never be. If you say that I will be rich. Okay, I'm flat broke, but I'll be rich. What does a rich person do? Will a rich person do an action like this? Will a rich person not do an action like this? So these are the questions you would ask yourself.